Welcome back to part number 26 of my Imperator Rome playthrough. We just pieced out with Egypt separately and Carthage as the primary. Took some land in Iberia. Ahead of schedule, I had sort of planned on a 3-year timetable for a separate piece, but we were able to occupy all of Egypt and a separate piece out early. And then end the arrangement with Carthage as well, taking more land here and there. That puts us with a year downtime. I had planned to pivot from Carthage over to Rome, but now we can stage more effectively. Maybe, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get, say, up here. And position our armies, maybe 4 or 5 months, so it won't be that much downtime. There's another army group over here that are coming together here. We have 120 Liborians here and 46 or thereabouts here. We have claims on the Egyptian revolt. Unfortunately, Kush has occupied them, or we could immediately action them. I was thinking of taking this time to use the secondary army group as a border gore cleanup. It's probably really not a poor idea to get that ball rolling like right now. So we could break this navy here in half. Move this 70 group out and then get this guy on board the 50. Get the admiral there and roll up here and attack the Egyptian revolt. There doesn't seem to be any Egypt proper about. We can grab some land there, I think, and then we can take these guys out as well. We have all the claims from Alexander's empire, so just attack them both, clean that up. I think we can get a little action going here as well, and that'll happen while we place these guys appropriately through the boot here and up through there. Note we have some tradition available. There's nothing really left here, I don't think. There's nothing at all. We could take that. To what end, I don't know. There seems to be some use. We have bonus here. And then we can have heavy infantry maintenance cost. This won't do us much good, but well, we'll get there. Let's declare this war right now. Force march here. Now this guy should have just Cyprus and these areas here. I can't really find any other evidence of him having any other territory. Should be able to make peace with this guy now. Let's do it. We've landed in Crete. I think we can take this area over as well. We assaulted both these out. Let's get out of this area here. We can peace out. Boom. To recolonize that city there. Have another combatant here in Anatolia. Assaulted this fort away here. Peace out here. You know, I got a breakthrough, and I think that I'm going to take this marsh supply limit. So these units have taken Crete and this small city, they're a small power there, and they're headed back up. The smaller stacks are headed here. I'm going to try to send them up into the mountains and leave the larger 27 stacks for the upper aspect of the Italian boot. The problem is that these guys are at sea and they're not here for that effort, and this truce ends September 29. Perhaps my border gore detail was not particularly a good idea. This war will start on time, so I have a merc here that can head up there. I don't think these supply limits are probably... they're not awful or anything. They're not Italian, but they are not cringeworthy, at least. Well, Rome has had them for a while. Some of them up here. Actually, well, at least one of them has arrived. I was looking at the provincial map mode or whatnot here. We have 1,600 pops in Torica. That is a large province, and I have 12 elephants coming in because of all the trade routes and marketplaces and such. I can bring in enough food, generally speaking, and still have that. We're augmenting the production by 39%. Let's bring in some more grain here from numerous sources. To give you an idea of the magnitude of the slaughter about to unfold here, Rome has 3,400 pops in their entire empire. I was sort of worried about the Roman Navy. Apparently he stood it down. He can't afford it any longer, so I'm not really worried about these ships here. Just waiting for some time to pass. September 29 has arrived, and our war goal is valid. We will take his capital. Boom. These smaller stacks have arrived. I'm going to send them up into these mountain passes. We seem to be engaged here. Here. I think I'm going to swing this army as well as maybe this army once it's done with Rome off to the Roman revolt, which becomes actionable very shortly. This aspect goes well. We defeated a Roman army here. Rome just fell. Let's send one to a port, another up here. These guys are done with Rome here. I suppose I should go down and occupy that. We're going to go over to the capital of the Roman revolt. At least it was the capital. I'm not really sure where the capital is any longer. It's still there. There's some fighting going on up here, but it seems to be under control. At least at present. We have more units on the way. We need to reach a 20 stability before we declare the war, but we're not ready to declare it just right yet. Actually, what's our war goal? I think this is our claim here, so we may as well declare it right now. Let's find a holy site. Desecrate it. Raise our stability. And declare this war. Dardania. Taurinia. Where is Taurinia? There it is. Looks as though we are victorious here. I wonder what happens if we attack into terrain there across a river. Nothing particularly good. Looks like we can catch this unit out. And maybe we'll just stay right here and wait. We'll send this big bruiser down here to deal with this merc here. I think he can do it. Alright, so these guys have arrived. Let's see, merc. Well, let's just go and this is a fat stack. Let's do that. Land here. It was ugly, just like anticipated. We have a 95 war score before something strange happens. I think I'm going to try for a peace offer. I'm going to take this territory out of him, because most deal with it a second or third or whatnot time. That leaves the Roman revolt, I think most of which we have occupied except his ally here. We have an 83 war score, but he has a low enthusiasm, and I think we can take essentially everything from him here, except his ally, which we're not going to hold up the entirety of the war effort or the Hellenistic Empire for these two forts in a tribal area. So we're going to peace out with him right now and just leave the future, and we'll trigger him on some sort of defensive league or something like that. Rome is looking very easily done. It looks like 2 wars if I had to eyeball it, but there won't be much left after the first. And I think the revolt is gone. I don't think there's anything left of it. Yep, no more civil war. We saved him. We have this prisoners abroad thing. Gaius Fabius Sorex. I don't think we have any Gaius Fabius Sorexes. I think somehow we inherited this guy from the Roman revolt. And this is bugged, so off he goes. No more prisoner abroad. Just filed a claim here on Albesia. Theoretically, we could trigger Carthage. It's a tributary. But then we'll... I don't know. I don't want to leave the area until I have... Well, maybe I should truce break with Carthage, I think. And divert right now. And then maybe like truce break again after that, just like I did with Moria out here. Doesn't sound like a really poor idea. Our provincial loyalties are generally in order. Mostly. We are right here, and there are some very opportunistic targets available. We can, I believe, have a claim here. We can trigger Big Avernia, Lamonica, Santonia. This whole lot, I think, could be pieced out. I think if we declare on Avernia, what happens here? We trigger Namnitia, this fellow here, and Transalium right there. So we could peace out with these two, and then we'd have to take the rest out of Avernia, which should be like readily achievable fairly quickly. Theoretically. We have these mercs over here already well, not sort of, they are hired. Let's disband our levies here right now. Then we wouldn't have to truce break with Carthage. Maybe we could wait until we get one more normal war in with Carthage, and then we could truce break once or twice and just put him down. I think that sounds like a reasonable idea. Let's, I'm gonna swing over this way, around the horn here, up, and either invade Superratia or Avernia and company. So we have extracted from Rome. I've improved this whole Roman territory in mostly 0 ways. I built some theaters here in the Roman cities, but they haven't, of course, done a whole lot as yet. I have not done any theater improvement. Here I probably should build some theaters in these various cities here. Looks as though we have some pretty far up. Grab some here. That's about really all that can be done. There's a lot of theaters and such that can be built. I'm not really using these central Anatolian territories for actually any sort of legion creation, so the theaters are less relevant, other than for loyalty, which they are loyal because they are all Hellenic essentially by now, right? Yeah. Okay. So I have been I have these mercs. I'm keeping them on, and I'm not really actually at this point sure as to why. I can hire other mercs. There are a great many about, just sort of mulling about waiting for a little action. So let's stand these guys down. They're relatively inexpensive, but that doesn't mean that I should pay. As let's see exactly how expensive. Yeah, they're cheap, all right, but I don't need them. I don't need them there. I'll just rehire them. And then this is the sort of thing where you can let these guys stay on for 5 or whatever, 10 years. And you realize you could have had some mercs here or didn't need them at all, really, because I think this fleet is extracted from Rome. We're on our way. This guy should be on this boat here. Come on now. Over to this area here. And let's see, this unit and these units are here. We're going to rebase in Iberia, recover our food and such. And then I was thinking of attacking Arvernia, which would be the point of having those mercs to cover this area. This end, number one, we probably have levies available in some of these areas. I haven't called up a legion in Dacia or Pannonia. And I'd imagine there's probably more than a bit there. There is. Dacia can call up, what would that be, an 8 stack. It's not exactly a lot, but there are a few about the area. And we can call up these mercs as needed as well. The point is that I'm not going to attack Arvernia. I'll stop off here again in Superratia to establish base closer to our goal of Arvernia and this lot here. As food becomes problematic with these supply limits, we're topped off now, but I had to wait a year and top off the food after the Egyptian campaign. We mulled about in Carthago for essentially a year. We couldn't attack anyway, really, because the truce was on, but you generally don't want that sort of thing happening as a matter of course. There's another naval unit back here that's holding up the rear. I am less than satisfied with the performance relative to the speed and cost of my Hexare unit navy that's been around for about 100 years and really doesn't do much other than slow down whoever it is that they happen to be carrying or ferrying. So I'm going to delete these units as soon as they reach their destination. You know, I don't see any reason per se why we should stop. We're generally topped off. And we're going to take provincial capitals ASAP. Let's just roll up here into the clear and start the war. I think our trade routes have increased markedly, and that is making these pops promote at an exceptionally quick rate here. 327% for trade routes. And I think they jumped because of all of the elephants we import here. It's giving us a population output of 39%, so this provenance is quite useful. How many pops are there now? 633. Just as I decided to roll up there, these guys, they broke up into a civil war, the rascals, so I think I can declare war on the both of them. I just checked and it looks like it's actionable presently. So I'm going to do it right now before anything else strange happens again. We don't even know what our war goal is. I'm going to send the first Nauticon up here to deal with this war goal. And we're going to go, let's do it. I'm going to drop a few units right here. 3. This guy is racing towards the war goal. I'm going to break these units in half. This one has no general, but the supply is more friendly. I just clicked the wrong button on our Omen. It doesn't really matter so much. This is the one I wanted. Oh well. I'm gonna break these units in half as well. I don't think these guys can cope with these units even without any general. Let's just occupy this lot as quickly as possible. I'm getting very food conscious. I could go and attack this guy, but there's no point. I have a unit here marching off to take this capital, and then we'll deal with them. We just have so many units, there's no point in it. We're proceeding at a breakneck pace, so we'll probably assault this fort and assault that one and just get it done. This navy is... I'll just disband that unit, not worry. It's essentially a glorious campaign for us, but not so much for the enemy. It was a complete slaughter. We're just waiting for various these final territories to occupy. It's probably not going to be worth my while to continue with this siege here. We'll just stand down and see about what peace arrangements can be had here. So I checked the peace here and noted that we can take this, but we can't get at this because there's a combatant here that's perhaps allied with the primary. Maybe we can if we peace out with the other first. That strange bug is in play. You'll note here if we try to take these territories, it's all working. But if we click on this one to get at the more inland aspect, boom, it essentially deletes the entire agreement again. So the solution is to console annex this. The same thing is happening here as well. I'm going to do both of that so the peace agreements can go through in a more fluid nature as by the rules as well. So annex these two coastal territories. That should allow me to annex essentially the rest. So there's no way to get at here because we'd have to peace out with the Superantia proper, and to annex this, we'd have to be able to annex it, and we can't because the revolt is in the way. So this revolt is going to unfortunately live through the experience, but it will be considerably smaller. We'll see what we can do here. Let's take that again from the top here. We'll get this coastal, that coastal. And now we can proceed inward because it's not bugging up there. So we've done that. We've done this, that, and that. That, I think, is essentially all of it that can be had, and peace out. So now we can peace with this other character here. We'll get you and you. This area here, that, and that. We can't have this because we have not occupied it. I see. We will, though. While I occupy this, I'm going to start moving my forces toward the coast, and so that we can evacuate this area and head up to Avernia. There's another area here that deoccupied because of this allied fort. It's probably not worth our while to wait, and I'll not do it. So let's peace out presently. We can take that now. And call it a war. Alright, so let's see if he just wants to give it. I'm going to group these units up towards the shore, get on board the navy, and we'll head up to Avernia. Not a city in the entirety of the area. They're happy though. So these guys are moving back towards some consolidation where they can get on board the fleet. I note the war took about 9 months to a year. I spent quite a bit of money here. well, not quite a bit, but I spent some on grand temples and theaters in essentially this area here, and some temples here as well. And then I was seeing about the status of our food here in the capital. It seems positive. I noted that we had the plus 39% from elephants, and then I looked here. I didn't have any elephants available, and still don't, but I did look to make more available, and I moved down to our new holdings here in Axum. And note that he has created a city on top of this elephant region. So I'm going to build a slave mill there and move all Hellenic pops and or primary cultures to the area. So let's check the status of that now. A fair number of Hellenics, and the rest are just going to have to be whomever from wherever. The good news about moving most of the pops from the surrounding territories into the city is these pops in the city will have the theater and the temple, and there'll be less about to convert and assimilate, so that'll all happen faster as well. I wonder if I built some aqueducts here, whether that would be... That's probably a good idea. Let's do it. We'll be able to torque up our elephant production there. I'm going to look for another elephant city. I found 2 elephant cities right here in Kuntala. So I'm going to populate those with... it's not a city. This is, though. I built 3 mills and 5 aqueducts in that city. I'm assuming there's food. There is. I'm going to look for another. I found another right here. We need to lose this port immediately and get these mills made. And aqueduct up here. Well, that's all there are so far, but that should be sufficient. Let's do it here. I'm going to turn off the exportation of elephants and see about canceling all of our outgoing routes as well. There are none. I think that's a decent enough time to end the episode. Let's see what we're looking at over here to the west. These civil wars have been good to us. We were able to take that. We're proceeding up here. I believe we attack Alvernia. We trigger this country here, this smaller tribe there. And this internal here. It's going to be a fairly large war. We'll have to rehire these mercs, but it's certainly doable. I hope to see you in the next episode.